Welcome to Tales of the Getaway Guy. Yep, an adventure into 23 years of TV getaways all across New York State and beyond. Our travels will occasionally venture into 23 years of radio days where my broadcasting career began. Hold on, I've got everything you're going to need for your next getaway. Hello again, Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. Yep, we're back, and boy, we have a full show for you today. These are summer getaways you are going to love. A lot of people don't even know that this New York State Classic Getaway exists. People come from around the entire United States to check out what we have in our own backyard, and I'm not talking about Niagara Falls. I'm talking about something more central New York, Schoharie County to be exact. I'll tell you about this great summer family getaway in a second. It's a very cool, and I mean cool, getaway. Have you guessed yet? Hold on, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm also going to tell you about a place to stop for food on your way to this great New York State Classic Getaway. So again, lots to cover, plus we have a podcast question and a little bit to do with some ice cream. Who doesn't love ice cream this time of year? Today's show, by the way, is a summer family getaway trip, and we want to thank our fine friends at Powers Farm Market, another I would say summer getaway in a sense. They have everything you need for your summer plantings. Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road, Pittsford. Beautiful outdoor plantings, annuals, perennials for your outdoor pots or your flower beds, geraniums and petunias and vines and spikes. They have everything you need. And one of the things when you walk inside at Powers, they have fresh baked pies, breads daily. It's wonderful. Kids love the animals, alpacas and goats and ponies. Great family getaway. Nearby, open every day. Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road in Pittsford. Also, we're going to give a shout out to Cottages, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. First, we want to get you on the New York State Thruway to this New York State Classic Getaway that a lot of people have never been to before. I was there as a little kid. I'll tell you more about this classic getaway in a second, but if you get up in the morning, let's say you and the family leave the house out of Rochester, maybe Buffalo, and it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, get on the New York State Thruway, you're going to head east, and on your way there, if it's closer to lunchtime and you've got the munchies, you might want to stop at this classic getaway in Liverpool, New York. Last week, I brought you to Buffalo's Lake Effect Diner. Today, I found a great place in Liverpool. Hello again, Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. When you're on the road, how about some good roadside stops? This is one of my favorites.
This building is from the 1930s, so
This has been here a long time.
It's been here a long time.
This is Hyde's, a roadside classic off New York State Thruway, exit 37 near Syracuse. You can't miss it.
It's a landmark. It's a landmark. It's definitely an eye catcher. The neon, the old neon, the nostalgia. Everybody knows when they drive by here. It's almost like a branded sign. They know what it is.
It is all about the hot dog, especially right now.
February, the whole month, is buy one, get one free.
Which is great because you're probably going to get 2 dogs anyway. They're so good.
This is the Frank with Texas meat sauce, my favorite.
Hoffman Franks and Coney's, Texas Hots, chili cheese fries. It's all here at this roadside getaway.
I've been coming here since I was like 14 years old. So, seriously.
Some say it's the way the dogs are grilled, and some say it's the way the Hoffman hot dogs are made. Some swear by the Coney. Others say you have to get the Frank.
I got a Coney and a Frank. It's the only way to do it. Got to get both. It's the only place in the world.
Great dogs, great people, great history. So when you're traveling near Syracuse, keep this roadside stop in mind. Most just can't help it.
I know that they come from all walks of the United States. When they come home to visit Central New York, you hear the stories. Every single day you hear at least 2 or 3 stories of people coming back, and this is where they grew up.
Same food, good food, always good. Always good.
It's definitely worth it. You'll come back for more, and you'll tell your friends.
Ooh, that was good. Hyde's here in Liverpool, open every day of the week when you're in the mood for a Coney. With another one of my favorite roadside stops here in New York State, Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. Are you hungry? Just watching that, I am. Hyde's is a great getaway. As you can see, they're open every day from 10 a.m. in the morning till I believe around 9 o'clock at night. Hours always change, so check their website, which is hydesofliverpool.com. Now, we're going to get to that New York State getaway that many people have never been to before, a very cool 52-degree getaway. I'm giving you hints as we go along here. But first, Catherine Cottages just joined the show. I love this place, and you will too if you love cozy little cottages, little getaways that may be just for the two of you, but they also have accommodations in the cabins for families, and they're dog friendly. One of my favorites down in Steuben County is Catherine Cottages. Montour Falls is the area, and these are 4 comfortable cottages right on Catherine Creek. Montour Falls near the Glen, the Watkins Glen Gorge, and that in itself is a getaway. So if you're on your way there, you want to spend the night, go to Catherine Cottages. Now, here's the deal. There are many weekday availabilities right now, right at this very minute, for August or maybe fall foliage, September and October. Weekends are almost full, but weekdays are open. Listen, weekdays are great. They're less crowded. Again, it's dog friendly, and it's just less of the weekend chaos to a lot of great locations like the Gorge at Watkins Glen. So if you can find a weekday, Catherine Cottages is a great place to stay. I highly recommend it. I've done a show there, and you may have seen it on one of our more recent podcasts with Cozy Cabin Getaways. It's one of my favorites. I highly recommend it. Great people. Catherine Cottages, Montour Falls, CatherineCottages.com. Note the spelling, Catherine, Catharine, Cottages.com. Tell them the getaway guy sent you. Now, what is that New York State Classic Getaway? Finally, it's Howe Caverns. Yep, Howe Caverns is an underground adventure, and I mean adventure. You can bring the whole family. It's this classic getaway was discovered 20 years before the Civil War, if you can believe it, 20 years before the Civil War. And one of the stories that I always heard about Howe Caverns was the animals in the field in the hot summer sun would always gather around this little hole in the ground. Well, it was because cool air was coming up from the ground. And below that, they did a little investigating long, long ago. That's when Howe Caverns was discovered. Now, there are many stories, and you'll learn more about it when you're there at this great destination. You go 20 stories below the earth in this elevator, and you go into an amazing world of underground caverns, passageways, stalactites, stalagmites, walking through all sorts of cool little one area that's very narrow. You kind of have to wedge your way through it. It's like a labyrinth of caverns. It's amazing. There's even a lake down there, and you even take a boat ride. Howe Caverns, cool cavern tours at HoweCaverns.com. Order your tickets online, and I've got to let you know that it's always 52 degrees down there. So it may be hot outside in the middle of summer, but trust me, the travel tip is to bring a hoodie or a sweatshirt. I know it sounds crazy. Bring it with you because you're down underground for about an hour on this underground cave tour, and it's 52 degrees. You're going to freeze your butt off unless you wear something. Now, you probably have shorts on. Your legs are going to get cold. But as far as the rest of you, a hoodie, sweatshirt, highly recommended. I love to see these guys in these muscle shirts going down there. Yeah. And an hour later, they come up, yeah, I'm blue, because they're freezing. So highly recommended. But now, here's the cost issue. It's a little pricey. I'm going to be right up front. It's not a cheap getaway, but it's well worth the $25 for adults. Seniors are $22. Kids aged 5 to 12, $15. That seems fairly reasonable. And kids 4 years old and under are free. So, you're going to be putting out a little bit of money, but it's an adventure like you've never seen before. Howe Caverns, again, go to their website, HoweCaverns.com, and check out this great New York State classic getaway. It's been there forever. And it's funny, I run into so many people that say they have never even heard of it before, which I find to be amazing. But, First timers, go for it. Have fun. Howe Caverns, one of my favorite summertime getaways, especially when it's 52 degrees and it's 95 degrees above ground. Hey, Jim's on Main, one of our favorite sponsors. Talk about a great breakfast, maybe before you head out to Howe Caverns. 785 East Main Street for breakfast and lunch. They're down from the Auditorium Theater. You can park right over at Blackfriars Theater. Cash only at Jim's, but they do have an ATM in case you forget. They also have Jim's at the mall at Grease Ridge for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Jim's on Main is open every day, and if you want some good breakfast and a cup of coffee that just never seems to go empty, not to mention the coffee cake, which is to die for. Elena and family run the operation, and they do an amazing job. Jim's on Main, one of my favorites for breakfast. It's cheap, and it's good food. Podcast question. Marty in Greece wants to know, hey, getaway guy, have you ever done an ice cream getaway? Yes, I have. Marty wants to know, what are your favorite ice cream stands in Rochester? Well, Marty, there's a million of them, and we love Abbott's. Everybody loves Abbott's. My favorite is Abbott's in Charlotte, down by the beach. That's one of my. I just like the ambiance of all of that. But all the Abbott's are good. But a couple of the favorites that I picked out for a show that I did about 10 years ago. One of them is Luigia's. Luigia's is a great ice cream place. It's on Lyle Road in Spencerport. And the reason I like Luigia's is because I have never experienced an ice cream cone that big. The large, God help you if you get the large, it's about this tall. I swear to you. I think it's like 5 or 6 scoops of ice cream. The small is like 2 giant scoops. Or is that the kitty? The small might even be, it's ridiculous, the amount of ice cream, and that's part of the fun of it. And if it's a hot summer day, you better start licking because it's going to melt on you. There's a lot of ice cream to devour. Luigia is one of my favorites. Again, Lyle Road, Spencerport. Brewster's in Webster, I go to a lot because I live over on that side of town, and I like Brewster's. There are many locations. The one I go to is on Ridge Road in Webster. Ice cream made fresh on site, Brewster's. And another one that I love because the ice cream is the best quality ice cream I have ever had is at Pittsford Dairy in the village of Pittsford, North Main Street. Made fresh with farm fresh dairy cream. It's a real dairy, and it doesn't get any fresher than at Pittsford Dairy. They also sell it by like the pints. They make birthday, the ice cream cakes. Oh my goodness. It's so good. I've never had ice cream that good before. So Pittsford Dairy, another one of my faves, if you were to ask me. And if you have a question, go to MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. That's my website, or that's my email address, MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Ask a question, and you can also order travel books, a must-have this time of year, 50-day trips in each book. 50-day trips in each one, and Volume 2 even has a few haunted getaways. So these make great gifts, too, for birthdays or anniversaries or whatever. But get the book and just go to my email address. Tell me what you need. We'll take care of you. And when you order Volume 2, I'll give you Volume 1 for free. Just a little help. When prices on everything else are so high, I'm going to throw you a deal. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. You can also find my books at Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road, Pittsford, and in the village of Brockport, Liftbridge Bookshop. But again, online to get one and buy one, get two. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Powers Farm Market, thank you very much for being a part of our show. We've love having Powers Farm Market because we love Powers for their beautiful stock of great nursery stock for your annuals and perennials. And I know you're doing some beautiful flower pots. You can still do, it's never too late to be planting stuff. And their famous fresh baked pies and bakery items, is just crazy. That little pony right there ate my apple pie, and I'm furious about it. No, he didn't. She didn't. Whatever. But look how beautiful it is there. But there's here come the pies, folks. Hold on. Don't look. If you're hungry, or you're on a diet, don't look. Famous fresh baked pies and bakery items, breads and scones and pies. Powers Road, Marsh Road in Pittsford, open every day. A getaway unto itself. Thank you to Jim's on Main. Thank you to Catherine Cottages and certainly Powers Farm Market. And thank you for joining us today. We covered a lot, and we'll cover more next time. Remember, you can catch all my podcasts online at thegetawayguy.com. Thegetawayguy.com. I hope you'll check them all out. Watch them all the way through. We love to have you, and I'd love to hear from you at MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Until next time. I'm Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy.